San Francisco.
Well, that's not the only tech story that's dominating events in San Francisco. Of course, overnight Google staged what it was calling its biggest ever product launch, unveiling 2 new smartphones and a whole range of other devices.
So the search engine provider gave us a glimpse of its so-called home assistant. It's a voice-activated device which uses artificial intelligence to control other household gadgets. It's a sign of how bold tech firms are becoming in going after each other's territory.
So, for instance, Google's new home management service, well, that's a direct challenge to Amazon. It's got its own system called Echo.
Facebook is launching its own online sales service called Marketplace to rival eBay and Craigslist.
And the car maker Toyota, it's also straying into new areas. It's building a household robot that you can chat with. That will go on sale next year.
And then, of course, there's the electric car maker Tesla, also venturing into novel territory. It's building a factory to manufacture batteries for homes and offices.
Well, with us is Linzi Boyd, who's the author of Brand Famous and a global partner at Sherlaw's Group. Linzi, nice to see you. Welcome.
Hello.
So, a lot to get through because a lot was announced yesterday. Let's first of all start with the phones because it's the first time it's been designed in-house, a lot of tech going into it. And what struck me about this is the price tag. They're going head-to-head with Apple's iPhone. It's a similar price, a lot of similar technology. They're not trying to corner that lower end of the market, are they?
No, they're not. Google is definitely wanting to be more of a premium brand, and actually they've always been that, except they've been an operating system. And this is their first opportunity to come out and be a hardware. And so they're positioning themselves, and they're positioning themselves hard as more of a luxury brand.
So why would I opt for that phone as opposed to the Apple equivalent or the Samsung equivalent?
Well, for the first time, Google owns all the operating systems that sits behind, so the Android and the Chrome, etc. And so this is the first time that they've been able to put it into their own hardware system. What that means is that they can then be first to market with the new phases that they bring out to market and not have to rely on other phones to be able to bring it out for them.
A big push has been into all this sort of home automation, virtual assistants, all that sort of thing. Clearly, all of the tech companies are looking at how we'll be using technology over the next few years, and this is one of them. But again, going head-to-head with some pretty established players, we've seen the likes of Amazon do this already.
Yeah, well, the frontier is the home, and it's all about a connected home. So 3 years ago, if you notice, they all thought it was going to be the television. And now, 3 years later, they're definitely competing against the home. The interesting part is that they've gone for against Amazon, and actually Apple's not yet really gone into connected home. They've still gone into the TV side of things. So it'll be interesting to see where it moves to.
What about the issue of privacy, though? I mean, we've touched on Yahoo, one of our top stories today, which is quite, so many viewers might think this is quite shocking, really, if those revelations are actually true. Of course, Yahoo not saying much about it at the moment. But in terms of this device that Google will have in your home, just building up so much data on what you're doing, what you're talking about, where you're going. What about the privacy?
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Google is known for data, and Apple is more known, I think, for sales. And so I think Google's going to have to be careful because they are going to now be collecting so much data from people. And the whole transparency side of things, people are already resisting having their data being tapped into. And I think there's going to be a massive backlash in the very near future of people hacking into data and actually resisting what people are doing with their own data.
Linzi, it's good to talk to you. Thanks for explaining all of that. Linzi Boyd there from Sherlaw's Group. Thanks for coming in.